presented to such the authority and in a manner occupied by the state legislature. Compulsory provisions. The originations of the Gram Sabha into the palace or the gate of palace, establishment of Panchayat at the palace, intermediate and the district level. Direct election to all the seat in the Panchayat at the palace, intermediate and the district level. Indirect elections to the post of the chairpersons of Panchayat at the intermediate and district level. The minimum eligible contest election to Panchayat is 21 years. The reservations of the seat water members and the chairpersons for the assistant ministries in the Panchayat or the three level. Reservations of one-third seats for the members and the chairpersons for the only in the Panchayat and all the three levels. Fixing tenure of the 5 years for the Panchayat and all the levels and the holding fresh elections within 6 months in the event of the supervisions of any Panchayat. Establishments of the state elections commissions for the conducting elections to the Panchayat. Constitutions of the state finance commissions under every 5 years. Voluntary provisions. Enjoying the Gram Sabha with the powers and the functions at the village level. Determining the manner of elections of the chairpersons of the village Panchayat. Giving representations to the chairpersons of the village Panchayat in the intermediate Panchayat or in the case of the state not having the intermediate Panchayat in the direct Panchayat. Giving representation to the chairpersons of the intermediate Panchayat at the difference level filling within their constituency. The providing the reservations of the seat board members and the chairpersons for the backward classes in the Panchayat at any level. Devolutions of the powers and the responsibilities upon Panchayat. Granting the financial power to the Panchayat. Assigning to the Panchayat the tax, duties, tolls and the fees levied and collected by the state government. Making that drain in to the Panchayat from the considered fund of the state. Urban local government. The term the urban local government in India signifies the governments of urban areas of the people through their elected representatives. The jurisdictions of the urban local government is limited to the special urban area which is the enumerated for is the purpose by the government. Historical perspective. In the 1688, the first municipal corporations in India was set up at the Madras. In the 1726, the municipal corporations were set up in Bombay and Kolkata. 1726, Lord Mayor's resolutions of the 1870 on the financial decentralizations, the development of the local self-government institution. Lord Egon resolutions of 1882 has been held as the Magna Carta of the local self-government. It is called as the father of the local self-government in India. 74 Amendment Act 1992. This Amendment Act inserted Part 9A to the Constitution which deal with the administrations of the municipalities. It that consists of the article number 243B to 243ZG. In addition, the Act also added a new 12th schedule to the Constitution. This schedule contains the 18 financial items of the municipalities. The Act gave the Constitution status to the municipalities. Constitution of the municipalities. Clauses 243K provide then in the every state institutions of self-government called by a general name municipalities will be the consequent such the institutions will be of the three types: Nagar Panchayat of either constitutional area, that is, and the area which is the being the transformed from the rural area to and the urban area. Municipal council for the smaller urban area. Municipal corporations for the larger urban area. Compositions of the municipalities. The members of the municipalities will generally be the elected by direct elections from the territorial constituencies. The chairperson is elected in the manner provided by the legislator. The legislator of the state may by the law provide for the representations in the municipalities with the right to vote in the meeting of the municipalities of following people: persons having the special knowledge for the experience in the municipalities administration, members of Lok Sabha, State Assembly, Rajya Sabha and the Legislative Council. Ward Committee is the municipal areas shall be divided into the territorial constituencies to be the known as ward. It provides for the formations of ward committees consisting of one or more ward in the municipalities having 3 lakhs or more of population. The state legislature shall make the provision with respect to it is the compositions, territorial area and the manner in which the seat in a ward committee shall be the filled. Reservations of the seats for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and women, SC and STs. The Act provides for the reservation of seats for the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes in every municipalities in proportions of their populations to the total population in the municipal area. Women. Out of the total number of the seats to be filled by the direct elections, at least 1/3 would be the reserved for women. This included the quota for women belonging to scheduled castes and tribes. Chairpersons. It has been left to the state legislature to prescribe by the law the manner of reservations of the office of the chairpersons of the municipalities. Backward classes. It is the permissions for the state legislature to make the provisions for reservations on the seat of the office of a chairperson of municipalities. Regulations of municipalities. Every municipality is the term of again with the article 250 the advocate of the Senegal increase in the parliament assumes the power to the make law for the Indian country or any part thereof, even in the respect of suffrage mentioned in the state list clauses the article number 353 further the empower the parliament to the make the law with respect to any matter notwithstanding that is the one this is to promote the exercise of this law-making power, Parliament may confer powers and impose duties upon the Union or it is by effect, the offer and the authorities given through the law pertains to the matter not contained in the Union list. Extensions and the revisions of Lok Sabha and the State Legislative Assembly of the Article number 83 and the Article number 172. The Article number 23 provide that with the proclamations of emergency in the corporations. The mouth of the Lok Sabha may be the extent for a period of 1 year. At the time, if any law be the extended by law, the Parliament is time for another 1 year, but the same cannot be extended beyond the 6 months after the proclamations process to the operate. To the process on Article 17245 that the tenure of the state assemblies can also be the extent in the same manner. Alteration in distributions of reserve revenue. Alteration in the distributions of the revenue before the policies one of Article 354 provide that all the proclamations of emergency is in the operations. The President means the emperor to alter order modify the provisions contained under the article 268 to 279 regarding descriptions of the revenue between the Union and the state. Every order made under the process of Article 354 is the required to be the laid before this House of Parliament. Such an order or the modifications so effect in the financial investment would on the remain and force the beyond in what the financial year in which the proclamations of the emergency clauses to the operate. Suspension of fundamental right mentioned in the article number 19, article number 258. According to the article number 358, the fundamental right under the article number 19 are automatically suspended when the national emergency is the proclaimed on the ground of war or the external acquisitions. The Constitution could 14 Amendment Act 1978 has made the following two important changes: the restricting the scope of Article number 358. Firstly, Article number 19 will be the suspend under the Article number 358 only in case the proclamations of emergency is the made on ground of war or external aggressions, and not in the case of the proclamations of emergency issued on the ground of the armed rebellion. Secondly, if government want to still suspend and maintain it will the make use of the powers given to it under Article number 359, that is through the separate proclamations, suspensions, suspension of the enforcement of other fundamental right, Article number 359. According to the Article number 359, President by the separate proclamations can be suspended from fundamental right except those under Article number 20 and 21. From the other discussions, it will become the full clear that the emergency not only suspend the autonomy of the state but also the convert the federal states of India into a unitary one. And still it is the considered necessary as it equips the Indian government with the vast power to the courts of with the abnormal situations. Withdraw or the removal of the national emergency. National emergency can be the withdraw anytime by the proclamations of resolution issued by the President on the advance of the Council of Ministers. National emergency is removed automatically if any goes by any house of the parliament does not include it others constitutional either voting or not or thereafter. Lok Sabha has been given the special power in the methods of withdrawal of the national emergency when at least 10% members of Lok Sabha given a notice to the President when Lok Sabha is not in the sessions or to the Speaker when in sessions the their intentions to remove the emergency that a special sittings of Lok Sabha is the confirmed with the 14 days or 14 days to vote on constitution of the emergency if the discontinuations of the emergency is approved by Lok Sabha by simple majority, then emergency will be removed. Proclamation of the national emergency till 26 October 1962 to 10 January 1968. External aggression. 3 December 1971 to March 1977. External aggression. 25 June 1975 to March 1977. The Internet disturbance. Article number 322 and the Constitution 44 Amendment Act 1978. The expressions internal disturbance during the one was the substituted by the concrete expressions that is the armed rebellion. Now the proclamation of the national emergency by the residents can be made only on the written advice of the cabinet. The earlier national emergency was to be approved by the parliament within 2 months. Now it has to be approved within 1 month. Earlier the proclamations of the national emergency was to be approved by a simple majority. Now it is to be approved by a majority under the Article number 368. Earlier once of the parliament approves national emergency, it must to be enforced till the the President. Now it is the only 6 months at a time. Earlier there was no provisions for the withdraw of the national emergency. Now if the Lok Sabha believes the resolutions with a simple majority in the special session, the conveying on the request of 1/10 of the member national emergency can be the withdraw. Earlier under article number 368, 358. The fundamental right under the article number 19 were to be the automatically suspended for all types of the national emergency, whether the proclamation on the ground of the war, external operations or internal disturbance. But now the fundamental right under the article 19 can be the automatically suspend only when the national emergency is proclaimed on the ground of war or the external operations. Earlier under the article number 359, the President was the empowered to the suspend all the fundamental right, but now the President power to the suspend the right to move the court for the enforcement of the fundamental right cannot be exercised in the respect to the fundamental right secured by the article number 20 and 21. In other what the operations of the articles 20, 20 and 21 cannot be the suspended during the proclamations of the national emergency, state emergency president rules. Article number 355 provides that it shall be the duty of the Union to protect every state against the external aggressions and internal distribution, and to ensure that the government of the every state is carried on the accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. Proclamations of the state emergency failure of the constitutional machinery is that, according to the article number 356(1), if the president either on the receipt of the report from the governor of the state or other ways is satisfied that the situation has the arrest which the government of the state cannot be carried on the according with the provisions of this constitution may make the proclamations to the effect. The article number 365 is the offer in the part number 19. Nationals provide that the whole any state has a fair to complete with or to the given effect to any direction given in the exercise of the executive power of the Union under any of the provisions of this Constitution. It shall be the lawful for the President to hold that the situation has the arisen in which the government of the state cannot be created on in the accordance with the provisions of his constitution procedure. Every proclamations under the article number 356 shall be laid before the House of Parliament, and shall except there is a proclamations revoking either pre-files the proclamations to the operate and the expirations of 2 months unless before the expirations of that the period it has been approved by the resolutions of the both House of Parliament. The proclamations show the approval shall unless the renunciations to the operate on the expiations of the period of the 6 months from the date of the issue of the proclamations. It can be further the extent by the parliament by the another 6 months. If the proclamation has to be the extent beyond one year to conditions are to be fulfilled. A proclamation of the emergency is in the operations in the whole of India or as the case may be in the whole or any part of the state at the times of the passings of such the resolutions and the election commission certifies that the continuance in the force of the proclamations is then necessary on the account of difficulties in holding general elections to the legislative assembly of the state concerned. A proclamation of the president's rule may be removed by the president at any times by the subsequent proclamations, such as the proclamation does not require the parliamentary approval. Consequence of the state emergency. The following consequence ensured on the issuance of the proclamations of the president under Article number 356(1). The Council of Ministers is dismissed. The state legislative assembly is either dissolved or is kept under the suspend animation. The president may assume to himself or of any of the function of the government of the state and all of the any of the powers vest in or the accessible by the governor or any bodies or the authority in the state other than the legislator of the state. The presidents may then declare that the powers of the legislative of the state shall be accessible by or under the authority of the parliament. Presidents, however, cannot assume to himself any or the powers the best or the accessible by the High Court or to suspend in which in whole or in the part the operations of any provisions of his the constitution relating to his to High Court. The Federal Speed and Article 356 is the needed to be the remembered that only the spirit of cooperative federalism can preserve the balance between the union and the state and the promote the good of the peoples and not an attitude of the demonizers or the superiority under our the constitutional system. No single entity can claim the sovereignty does not lie in any one the institutions or in any one wing of the government. Recommendations of Rajendra Sarkari Commissions 1983 in context of the article number 356. President's rule in the state shall be imposed only in the exceptional situations after the having experienced or other effort to the improve the health of the constitutional machinery in the state. except when non-impositions of the president's rule can lead to disaster. Any warning should be given to the hearing state by the center in the specified term. When the Council of the Minister loses it is the support in the State Assembly, then the Governor should the first try to form and the alternative majority government, and if that is also not possible, and even if the elections is not possible, then the caretaker government must be installed. This is the article of the Indian Constitution. When was the first national emergency declared in India? 1962. Amendment of the Constitution. The article number 368 in the part number 20 of the Constitution deals with the powers of the Parliament to amend the Constitution and protect the procedure. In the provides for two types of amendment by the special majority of Parliament, by the special majority of the Parliament with the ratifications by the half of the federal state. Person under the article present for the amendment of the certain provisions of the Constitution by a conferment of the major conferment of more jurisdictions on the Supreme Court elections or to the Parliament and the state legislature, delimitations of constituencies in new territories. Fifth, schedules the administration of schedules areas and the schedules tribe. Sixth, schedules the administration of the tribal areas by special majority of Parliament. The Constitution can be by the special majority of the Parliament, that is the majority of the proportional votes of the House and majority of the draft of the number of the House and the totals number of the members comprising the House, the irrespective of the fact of whether the where the vacancies for the positions, the polling units which can be the amendment by this by the include the fundamental rights by the principle of the state policy in the all for the proportion which are the governed by the first and the third categories by special majority of the Parliament in the consent of the state. The proportion of the constitution which one the effect the federal the election of the president and this extent of the executive powers of the United States Supreme Court and the High Court, distributions of the legislative power between the Union and the meaning of the rest of the second schedules, representation of the state parliament. Powers of the parliament to the constitution is the procedures of the claim the system itself, both on service that's concept. Constitution only process the procedures for the constitution is like the arithmetic city is the follow. And the amendment of the constitution can be the initiated only by the office of the bill to the purpose in the House of the Parliament and not in the state legislature. The bill can be the introduced either by the minister or by the private person. Do not got your permissions of the presidents. The bills must be passed into Parliament is the House by the special majority. That is the majority that is the more than 50% of the membership of the House and the majority of 2/3 of the members of the House represents in the public. If the House must pass the bills separately in case of the disagreement between the two houses, there is no other provisions to protect the joint settings of the two House for the purpose of the deliberations and the basis of the bill. If the bill seeks to amend the federal provisions of the Constitution, must also be ratified by the legislature of the heart of the state by the simple majority, that is the majority of the members of the House present the voting after they passed by the vote of the House of Parliament and ratified by the state legislature. After the necessary the bill is the present to the president's probation. The president must have duty is the assent to the bills if he can neither the roll call is the assent to the bill nor the return the bill with reconsiderations of the parliament. After the president assent the bill, the written in the act that is in the constitution and the constitution is in the amendment in the accordance with the terms of the law. thank you so much, guys.